Part 1. The distress signal blared across the bridge of the Orion, cutting through the quiet hum of the ship's engines. Captain Liora T'ren's multifaceted eyes narrowed as she studied the readout. "We've got a derelict ship on our hands, crew. Prepare to board." Lieutenant Jason Harris, the lone human, adjusted his dark-colored uniform and exchanged a look with engineer Crix Mailer, whose multiple arms deftly handled the controls. "Another day, another ghost ship," Jason said with a hint of a smile, his rugged face betraying no fear. "Human bravado," Crix muttered, his rocky hide glistening under the ship's lights. "Always charging into danger without a second thought." "Enough," Captain T'ren commanded, her voice resonating with authority. "We have a job to do." The team assembled at the airlock. First Officer Dral Virex with his pale blue skin and bioluminescent markings. Medical Officer Talia Seren with her serpentine lower body and diagnostic devices, and Crix in his utility jumpsuit. They moved with practiced efficiency, but there was an undercurrent of unease. The airlock hissed open, revealing the dark, silent corridors of the derelict ship. The atmosphere was oppressive, filled with the faint smell of decay. Their flashlights cut through the gloom, casting long shadows that danced eerily on the walls. "Stay alert," Dral Virex cautioned, his scientific instruments already scanning for any anomalies. "This place feels wrong." They advanced cautiously, their footsteps echoing through the empty halls. The ship's interior was a labyrinth of twisted metal and darkened rooms, each turn heightening the sense of dread. "Look at this," Talia whispered, her voice barely audible. She pointed to a set of claw marks gouged into the metal wall. Something violent happened here. As they moved deeper, the sense of unease grew. Suddenly, a figure lunged from the shadows. Jason reacted instinctively, his blaster firing a clean shot. The creature crumpled to the ground, revealing a grotesque, reanimated corpse. "Zombies!" Crix spat, his rocky hide shuddering. "This is worse than I thought." "Humans and their endless curiosity," Dral remarked, "always poking their noses where they don't belong." Jason's jaw tightened, but he said nothing. Instead, he moved to inspect the corpse. "These aren't just zombies. They're being controlled by something." Captain T'ren's multifaceted eyes glinted with determination. "We need to find the source and destroy it. Stay close, and stay sharp." They pressed on, encountering more reanimated corpses. Each fight was a struggle, the undead relentless in their attacks. The crew's fear was palpable, but Jason's calm determination kept them moving forward. "Why are humans always so reckless?" Crix grumbled after dispatching another attacker. Talia's voice was firm. "Because they're brave, and right now, we need that bravery." The crew reached the central chamber of the ship, where a pulsating alien device sat at the heart of the infestation. "There it is," Jason said, his voice steady. "The source of all this." Captain T'ren nodded. "Let's end this." They devised a quick plan, with Jason taking the lead. As they fought their way to the device, the crew's unity and determination shone through. They planted explosives around the device, setting the timer. "Time to go," Jason urged, leading the retreat. The crew barely made it back to the Orion when the explosives detonated, a fiery explosion consuming the alien device and the derelict ship. As the Orion pulled away, the crew watched the destruction, relief washing over them. "Humans," Crix muttered, shaking his head, "always so dramatic." Jason smiled. "Just doing what we do best." Part 2. The Orion hung in the void, the glow of the destroyed derelict ship slowly fading into the blackness of space. The crew gathered in the briefing room, tension palpable. "That alien device was just the beginning," Dral Virex said, his elongated limbs folded in contemplation. "The readings I took suggest a much larger network. We need to find out where these parasites are coming from." Captain T'ren nodded. "Agreed." Crix, Can you analyze the data from the device? The Graxian engineer's multiple arms move swiftly over his console. Already on it, Captain, but it's not looking good. The energy signatures match those of the Merdathian system, a known hotbed of illegal biological experiments. Jason Harris frowned. Great. We're heading into a nightmare zone. Talia Saren's serpentine body coiled nervously. If we don't stop this, the infestation could spread to inhabited systems. Millions could be at risk. Set course for Merdathia, Captain T'ren ordered. And everyone, prepare for the worst. As the Orion approached the Merdathian system, the atmosphere grew increasingly tense. The planet below was a stark wasteland, its surface dotted with the remnants of abandoned research facilities. Look at this place, Crix said, his rocky hide shimmering in the dim light. It's a graveyard. Jason's eyes scanned the terrain. Let's hope we don't join them. The crew landed near the largest facility, a massive complex partially buried in the sand. They exited the ship cautiously, weapons at the ready. The air was thick with the scent of decay and chemicals. Stay alert, Captain T'ren instructed. We don't know what's waiting for us. They moved through the facility's ruins, the eerie silence broken only by the occasional creak of metal. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and a horde of reanimated corpses surged towards them from the shadows. Here we go again, Jason muttered, raising his blaster. The crew fought fiercely, their coordinated efforts keeping the undead at bay. But the sheer number of attackers was overwhelming, and fear began to grip the alien crew members. Why did humans have to drag us into this mess? Draal shouted over the noise of battle. Jason didn't flinch. Because running away isn't an option. Talia's voice was steady, though her hands shook slightly. Remember what we're fighting for. We can't let these parasites spread. As they battled deeper into the facility, they found a control room filled with monitors displaying horrific experiments. Alien scientists, now reanimated, roamed the halls, their grotesque forms a testament to the horrors that had occurred. We need to shut this down, Captain T'ren said, her multifaceted eyes glinting with determination. Crix, can you disable their systems? Crix nodded, his multiple arms already working on the controls. Give me a minute. The undead pressed harder, their relentless attacks threatening to overwhelm the crew. Jason fought on the front lines, his calm demeanor a stark contrast to the chaos around him. Why do you humans always have to be the heroes? Crix grumbled as he worked. Because someone has to, Jason replied, firing at another attacker. Finally, Crix's efforts paid off. The facility's systems powered down, the lights flickering out. The undead paused, momentarily disoriented. Now's our chance, Captain T'ren shouted. Fall back to the ship. The crew retreated, their path illuminated by the faint glow of their flashlights. They made it back to the Orion. Just as the facility collapsed, the weight of the destroyed systems bringing it down. As the Orion ascended, the crew watched the facility crumble into the dust below. Relief was short-lived, however, as the data Crix had retrieved revealed a more sinister plot. This isn't over, Crix said, his voice grim. There's a central hub controlling these infestations, and it's sending out signals to other systems. Captain T'ren's multifaceted eyes narrowed. Then we stop it. Wherever it is, we end this once and for all. Jason nodded, his expression resolute. No matter what it takes. Part 3. The Orion sped through space, the urgency of their mission weighing heavily on the crew. Captain T'ren called a meeting in the briefing room to discuss their next move. Crix, what do we know about the central hub? Captain T'ren asked, her multifaceted eyes focusing on the engineer. Crix displayed a holographic map of the Merdathian system. The signals are being transmitted from a hidden base deep within an asteroid field. It's heavily shielded and well protected. We're looking at a fortress. First Officer Draal Virex frowned. This isn't going to be easy. The asteroid field alone poses a significant risk. Risk or not, we have to stop this, Jason said, his tone unwavering. If we don't, more worlds will fall to these parasites. T'ren nodded. We can't let fear control us. We need to act. The Orion navigated carefully into the asteroid field, the ship's sensors scanning for any signs of the hidden base. The tension among the crew was palpable, each member bracing for the unknown. There, Crick said, pointing to a cluster of asteroids. I've detected an energy signature consistent with the base's shields. We're close. As they approached, the hidden base came into view, a dark structure nestled within the asteroids, surrounded by automated defense systems. Prepare for engagement, Captain T'ren ordered. This will be a tough fight. The Orion launched a barrage of missiles targeting the base's defenses. Explosions rocked the asteroid field, debris scattering in all directions. The base responded with laser fire, the ship's shields flaring under the impact. We're taking heavy fire, Virex reported, his bioluminescent markings glowing brighter with stress. Maintain course, Jason commanded, his calm voice cutting through the chaos. We need to get closer. As the Orion drew near, they launched boarding pods towards the base. Jason, Captain T'ren, Crix, Dral, and Talia led the assault team, their weapons ready. Inside the base, the air was thick with the smell of decay. Reanimated corpses lurched from the shadows, their eyes glowing with a malevolent light. Let's move, Jason shouted, leading the charge. They fought their way through narrow corridors, the undead relentless in their attacks. Jason's blaster fired with precision, each shot finding its mark. The crew's fear was palpable, but Jason's presence kept them focused. Humans, Dral muttered, dispatching an attacker. Always so reckless. Reckless or brave? Talia countered, her medical tools repurposed as weapons. We need his determination right now. They reached the central chamber, where the heart of the infestation pulsed ominously. An enormous, alien organism was connected to a vast array of machinery, its tentacles controlling the reanimated corpses. That's it, Crick said, his voice a mix of awe and horror. The source. Captain T'ren's eyes narrowed. We destroy it, and we end this. The team spread out, planting explosives around the organism. The undead swarmed, trying to protect their master, but the crew fought them off with fierce determination. Why do you humans always have to be the heroes? Crix grumbled as he set the charges. Jason grinned, firing at another attacker. Because someone has to. With the explosives in place, they retreated to a safe distance. Jason held the detonator, his finger hovering over the button. Ready? Do it, Captain T'ren commanded. Jason pressed the button, and a deafening explosion rocked the base. The alien organism shrieked as it was torn apart, the reanimated corpses collapsing lifelessly to the ground. As the Orion pulled away from the crumbling base, the crew watched the destruction with a mix of relief and exhaustion. They had stopped the immediate threat, but they knew their battle was far from over. We did it, Talia said, her voice filled with relief. One step closer, Captain T'ren agreed. But we need to stay vigilant. There may be other bases out there. Jason nodded, his expression determined. We'll find them, and we'll stop them. Part 4. The Orion cruised through the void, the weight of their recent victory mingling with the anticipation of what lay ahead. The crew gathered in the briefing room, the mood tense but resolute. We've confirmed that the destruction of the base has halted the spread of the parasites in this sector, Virex reported. However, there are indications of other hubs sending out similar signals. Captain T'ren's multifaceted eyes narrowed. We need to find and eliminate these hubs. This ends now. Crix Mailer brought up a new set of coordinates on the holographic map. I've triangulated the signals to a central location. It appears to be a massive control center on a remote moon in the Horathian system. Then that's our target, Jason said, his tone firm. We take it out, and we stop this infestation for good. The Orion set course for the Horathian system, the crew preparing for the final confrontation. As they approached the moon, they saw it was heavily fortified, with defensive structures and swarms of reanimated guardians patrolling the surface. "This is it," Captain T'ren said. "Our last stand." The Orion engaged the defenses, the ship shaking under the barrage of enemy fire. Jason led a boarding team, their objective clear: infiltrate the control center and destroy the source of the signals. The team descended to the moon, their landing zone immediately swarming with undead. They fought their way through, Jason at the forefront, his blaster cutting down enemies with unerring precision. "Why do humans always put themselves in the line of fire?" Drawl shouted over the din of battle. "Because it's what we do," Jason replied, not missing a beat as he fired at another attacker. Inside the control center, they encountered the true source of the infestation, a vast alien biocomputer, its organic tendrils pulsating with dark energy. It was surrounded by a legion of reanimated corpses, their eyes glowing with unnatural light. "We need to destroy that thing," Crick said, his multiple arms already setting up explosives. Talia scanned the room with her medical equipment, her voice filled with urgency. "The biocomputer is linked to every parasite in the sector. Destroying it will shut them all down." "Then let's do this," Jason said, moving to plant charges around the room. The undead attacked with renewed ferocity, their master sensing its imminent destruction. The crew fought desperately, each moment a struggle for survival. "Humans," Crix grumbled, his rocky hide glistening with sweat. "Always looking for a fight." "And winning them," Jason shot back, covering Crix as he set the final charge. With the explosives in place, the team retreated to a safe distance. Jason held the detonator, his finger poised. "Ready? Do it," Captain T'ren commanded. Jason pressed the button, and the biocomputer exploded in a blinding flash of light and energy. The reanimated corpses collapsed instantly, their controls severed. As the Orion lifted off the moon, the crew watched the control center burn. Relief and exhaustion washed over them, knowing the immediate threat had been neutralized. "We did it," Talia said, her voice a mix of disbelief and joy. Captain T'ren nodded, her multifaceted eyes reflecting the fiery destruction below. "We've stopped the infestation here, but we need to stay vigilant. There may be other threats out there." Jason looked around at his comrades, his expression determined. "Whatever comes next, we'll face it together." Back on the fight. Orion. The crew gathered for a moment of reflection. The journey had been long and arduous, but their unity and determination had carried them through. "Humans are reckless, chaotic," Drawl said, breaking the silence. "But without you, we wouldn't have survived." Jason smiled, a rare moment of levity breaking through. "Thanks, Drawl. I think that's as close to a compliment as I'm going to get." Crix chuckled, his rocky hide shaking. "Don't get used to it." Captain T'ren raised a glass, a symbol of their triumph and camaraderie. "To the crew of the Orion, may we always find the courage to face the darkness together." The crew echoed her toast, their spirits lifted. They had faced unimaginable horrors and emerged victorious, their bond stronger than ever. As the Orion sailed through the stars, they knew their mission was far from over. But with their unwavering resolve and unity, they were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead.